Today we're going to talk about two-handed bowling. So the first difference is we're all two-handed bowlers. The only true two-handed bowler that there would be a granny shot where you let go with both hands. So the difference is thumb in and thumb out. As I approach and hold my ball, I hold with two hands, and the person that's bowling with with their thumb out would hold the ball similar like this. So we're all two-handed bowlers. It's just a different approach at how you release and swing that ball, which we're going to go over. So, thumb in, thumb out. The big difference, and why the young people are really loving this thumb out, is the amount of power that you can drive from this approach. And if I was younger, I would totally do it too. So the one thing that we want to be really careful of, though, is not hurting your knee and not hurting your back. So as we go in and we're making bigger movements, Anthony Simonson used to do this. He's gotten way better in the last year, so he's been working on that, I can tell. He used to go up and down a lot. And as you're doing that, that just creates a tremendous amount of force on your back and your knee. And if you can keep that plane straighter without that up and down, then it's going to be much less abusive to your knee and your back, and you're going to be bowling much later in life, which is a good thing. So keep that in mind. We want to be less abusive so you can bowl in the long run. As we go, let me explain our thumb in and thumb out. I'm holding my thumb in, and I'm holding my ball. And we've talked about this before, but as I go and I start releasing this ball, basically gravity is ripping that ball off my thumb. So that's where I can release it. This is basically, if this is the equator of the ball, halfway, this is as much distance. Let me put it back on the rev trainer. This is as much distance as we have to play with the ball. Okay? So I'm out here. My fingers are there. I can't project the ball off too far and get around the ball to get rev. So that's just physically, on a physics level, where we can get out. Check it out when I don't have my thumb. I get completely under it. I can get a lot more power into it. Keep in mind, power doesn't win the game. I know they all say it does. It's a mixture of the timing of power and many other factors, but most of all, understanding your environment. You have to understand the pins, you have to understand the lane, the oil, yourself, your balls, and the different movements you're trying to do on that ball-to-ball motion. So let's get back to the other thing that we do. We as bowlers tend to do this, although we're trying to get more athletic. I like that athletic position because you've never seen a pitcher pitch like this. They're just not any good, not the best ones. It's a full kinetic chain of everything working together. Okay, so what the two-handers do, this is our two-handed trainer. They're already starting in that very athletic position. As they take that ball under, look where my shoulders are. We don't want to go around our shoulders. We always want to go underneath. Okay? But if you look at the videos, I've posted one, Ron Hoppy's posted one before, of Belmonte and Weber releasing their bowling balls. And both of them, once they've released the ball, they're one-handed, they're basically right here. So of course Belmo comes in, he's released, and he's here. And Pete comes in, and he's released, and he's here. So we still have to be very repetitive with what we do. We have to know what we're doing with our hand and our release. But those are the two basic things that you're going to get with thumb out compared to thumb in. Is that one is we're in a better athletic position, and the second is we can get our fingers way below that equator to drive more force into our bowling ball. The negatives to me is it's very athletic, as we just talked about, and it's much more inclined to hurt you, your back, your knee, because of that athleticism. Remember, this bowling ball being 14 to 16 pounds is very abusive to your knee. I think the ESPN deal they did on Sean Rash was 1,400 pounds per square inch on your knee when he drives that ball in. So it's a lot of pressure on our bodies when we're doing this sport. So we want to be good to ourselves. So let's get into what is the movement for a two-hander. As I come in and release the ball, we're wanting to release it here because that's where a fast pitch female fast pitch softball player does. Remember, the slow pitch is out here. So this is our maximum power. We can vary this and you can do whatever you like. We're just talking about being able to create maximum power, maximum repeatability. So we're going to try to come off here. We have to still do that same motion to get it off our fingertips. Remember, everything other than our body positions to me are identical. So we all do it the same way. We direct the ball, we roll it off our fingertips the same way. One is you have the thumb in, the other is you have the thumb out. The other thing is we have a thumb in and we release the ball. We're holding the ball with our thumb. The thumb out people hold the ball, they hold it longer, very similar to our thumb, and kind of release the ball with this hand about when we would with our thumb. So that's the differences between this. We're going to get back to here. So what we're trying to do as a two-hander, same thing right underneath our shoulder, and we just want that rocking motion. So this is at the release. Now, there's two different ways that I've seen as far as when you take the ball back when you're first holding it. Okay, so we're holding our ball, and I still like trying to be as aligned as you can, so you can get however you guys want, from sideways to whatever, but we want aligned. And as we take that first step, remember when you watch Belmonte, that first step and a half, he just looks like every other bowler you've ever seen. So he's stepping. As he comes in, now we have a choice. And many talk about, they come in and they lift the ball up. So that's one way, and we're walking past, and then we deliver just like every other bowler. Only where we come off the ball determines our ball motion again. The other way is we're walking the same as we drop, and I think this is going to be a little less abusive, but you know, once the ball's in the right position, we'll talk about that in a second. To me, it doesn't matter as much, but we drop, we keep that longer, elongated, and to me that will be a little less abusive to you, a little less dramatic, but either is very repeatable. Nothing's right or wrong. It's just my opinion. So the swing, we can lift up and come in, or we can just rock it. So you need to practice with this. These tools are nice to show, they're nice to feel, they're nice to teach lessons with. They're made to train. They're made to do just like a basketball, be dribbling it all night, every night. So you need to train really hard. You do these things for half an hour every day, relentlessly, so that you get your swing in and your release points. You see that I'm mimicking releasing the ball. It's no different than shooting free throws, putting putts. You don't try to miss the putt when you're putting. You don't try to miss the free throw. You're trying to make them. You try to make it on each swing as well. You have to visualize what you're doing, why you're doing it, and make each one count. So as we're coming in, we're releasing it. And over time, your swing is just going to get better and better. Now we'll work on one step. And that finish point to wherever you guys have, wherever your ball is, however you've done it, that one step of just finishing. So you've seen I've drawn this rope here. You can just follow. This could be a line in the carpet, a line you've drawn, a sidewalk. All we do is we follow it with our foot and our ball. Stay underneath your shoulder. And that will get you huffing and puffing for sure. Our release, which is the yo-yo, whether I have my thumb in or my thumb out, is still the same. We're coming down to our fingertips where we can manipulate the ball. Just as if we're a baseball player and we're manipulating there. The ball in this fashion, our hands coming off, and I'm going to drive that basically a zero axis rotation. As I start working my hand over here, I'm going to get that ball motion. As I start working my hand over here, I'm going to get that ball motion. So once again, we're driving our ball. Our ball does not drive us. We make every choice as a bowler. Whether we're driving a dragster or a Porsche is totally up to you. How much you practice, how much you want this is up to you. We don't really train as bowlers compared to every other sport. We need to do this stuff at home 20-30 minutes every day. You're going to see drastic results. Just bowling, you're not. And it's not going to stop you from wanting to bowl. You're just going to want to bowl more and more. And it's just going to enlighten your passion and your education, what's really happening and why. And it's just going to make you have more fun and win. Good luck.